How you going, everyone? I thought I'd do a little video, and I'll move a little bit closer. I thought I'd do a little bit of a video today about bags, backpacks, bug out bags, etc. And what I've learnt over, at least the last 10 years, maybe 12 years now, plus some just general experiences. So first off, I'll start on bug out bags and sizes, grab bags, get home bags, etc, etc. And what I've found with them is stay away from big bags. Big bags tend to get heavy. You get a lot of stuff in them. Although I never had one stolen, a get home bag sort of thing in your car can easily run up quite a few $100s worth of stuff inside it if you're into quality gear. And to be honest, just something like this, a small little bum bag, you could quite easily get definitely a few $100 worth of good gear in there, especially if a pocket knife, a Leatherman, if they're Australian dollars anyway, or $200 say for a quality one plus, and then it goes up from there, so plus the cost of the bag itself. So they're things that I've played around with all that stuff. As you can see here, it might look like a bit of a clutter at the moment, but I've probably got over $1,000 just in bags there, so another thing, don't go too big, because you'll always put too much stuff in it. That's the first mistake a lot of people will make, especially if you're new into the knowledge, the prepping, the bug out and all that sort of stuff. If you're new into that, it's too easy to get carried away with gadgets and you need this and you need that and you blah 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 blah. It becomes a hobby and you'll get addicted to the buying gadgets, and then as experience comes, you'll realize that you need less gear. So that also means that you need a smaller bag, or you don't need as big a bag. Okay. Some of the other things that you might run into as well is this is a 511. I forget what model of 511 bag this is. Everyone knows that 511's a really good sort of combat sort of ready sort of quality bag, and that's why I bought this. I bought this second hand. And that's another thing to take into account, and I'll get back onto that, is if you know sort of what you want to do, don't rush out and buy it. The world's not going to end tomorrow, okay? Look for things on sale, look for things on special, second hand. So I bought this second hand for maybe $100. In Australia, this was a $500 bag every day of the week. I bought it at a gun show where a guy, an ex-veteran, just had heaps and heaps and heaps of used second-hand military sort of used military stuff. So operators used these two bags overseas, probably special forces or our soldiers. You can see with this one, it's been painted in the past. Now, when I got that, I was really happy. Yep, I got a bargain. I filled it up with heaps of gear, and it weighed heaps. And to be honest, empty, I forget what this is now, but I think that's about on the way to 3 kilos, so that's probably about 6 pounds empty, okay? And then if you go off these some of the philosophies of your kit shouldn't weigh more than 1/3 of your body weight. If you're like me, 100 kilos, what's that, 210 pounds ish, 215 pounds, 1/3 of that, that's a mother effing heavy pack to carry around everywhere. Okay, so big, when it's filled up, will equal heavy, and you'll find that you don't need most of it. With my experience over the years, what I've learned is I don't really need anything more than about 40 litres, 45 litres, 50 max. So just last weekend I bought these 2 backpacks. They were both on sale. So this one here cost me $60 Australian. It's a 50 litre Denali, and I got this. It's nice and comfy. I went down to the actual shop that sold it, tried it on, and yeah, it's gonna do everything that I need. And it was $60. It was half price. Okay, so I thought that was quite a decent sort of price. And you know, this one here isn't something that you're going to go to Ukraine or anything like that. This is for my hiking, camping, and I'm going to go camping in my hammocks, etc., etc. So it's just enough to carry my my sleeping stuff, really. Okay, this one was more of a Ukrainian inspired decision. Okay, it's I believe it's 32 litres, this one here. I don't usually use a bag this heavy, to be honest. This size here is my normal sort of, this is what I use everywhere. This used to be my hunting bag. It's now my work bag. I believe I'm going to buy the same model, but just a newer version, and I don't seem to be able to find the high vis anymore, so it'll probably just be camo. They're $66 if you're in Australia or New Zealand. Ridgeline is the brand. Cleaver has them on their website, for Cleaver Firearms that is, has it on their website under the Ridgeline thing for $66. I think they're fantastic. They come with a bladder, I just take it out. This, again, this is more of a camelback. This is more of a bladder sort of hydration pack as well, rather than a bag. I just pull the bladder out and use it as my bag. This is 18 kilos as well. It's got molly on there, 2 pouches, and internal space. So that pretty much does everything I need to do. Now, another thing to be aware of is this is one that I bought years ago. As you can see, I've hardly used it. Okay, it was cheap. I think this was like an airsofty sort of bag. I think this is like 25, 28 litres, something around that sort of size. But you get what you pay for. And what I mean by that was extremely, extremely uncomfortable straps, shoulder straps. They were square edged. You can see I've taped them up to try and round them off a little bit. But everything about it is uncomfortable. It's made to look good, and that's about it. There was so many zippers on here that just made a racket. That you can see I've got some black tape, put them around all the zippers so when they collide on each other they don't sort of sound like a jingle bells coming down the track. Good size, cheap, but yeah, the quality's definitely not going to be there, and I can tell that without even using it. So again, that around 18 to say 30 litres is an unreal size. It's a really good size. Now, to upgrade my smaller backpacks, I like sort of a bum bag, you know, something that a belt pouch sort of thing. These are $40. This is that Ridgeline brand again. They make really good hunting gear and outdoor gear for their Kiwi brand. They're just really good. and I find that with the little bag on my back that mainly holds my water and things like that. Right now I've got my laser rangefinder in here, some ammo, knife. I usually have a knife on the actual belt itself, and I'll also have a pocket knife and, you know, a couple other smaller bits and pieces, keys for my car, etc., etc. will go inside here for when I'm out and about. And another little pouch, also made by Ridgeline, which is really good. It's just got a standard ammo belt there, and this little pouch, they're $10, also from Cleavers. When you unzip it, you got a little bit of storage on the inside. It actually has some ammo loops inside there, but it also just general purpose storage. But then you can put maybe a driver's license, shooter's license, another little pouch here. You could have some like first aid sort of stuff in there, a snake bite kit if you're in Australia, etc. So yeah, that's actually quite handy. Just chuck a knife on there when you need to go, and you got all the ammo that you could possibly ever need for one day's stalking, hunting sort of thing. Your general purpose sort of necessities could be in there, with your little backpack over the top, you know, and away you go, you're set. I like to, as I get older, again, it's all coming back to the more experience, you need less. Okay. What else? You know, and it's another Ridgeline product. I don't work for them, don't get nothing from them. It's all my gear's bought by myself. It's one of my little cold steel axe heads, tomahawk heads. This thing here, if you take that out, a few of my mates, when we went through this phase, bought ultra lightweight backpack, that sort of material and that sort of style backpacks to go hiking and maybe one night over sleeping in a hammock sort of thing. And they were spending some pretty big money on some backpacks. It was mainly through hiking gear from hiking stores, which the backpacks were coming in at around, well, probably easy over $200, and they were meant to be lightweight. And for their size, around about that 40 litres, 45 litres, they were buying their packs to keep the size and weight down. Didn't even know this isn't advertised as there's a rifle loop thing here, so you put your button there, the Velcro straps you put around your barrel and your receiver, and the barrel sits up here. So it's I can't remember what it is, it's like a H2O rifle sling bag or something like that. By accident, this ended up being right on around 40 litres, and this came in lighter. This cost me about $70–80, and this came in lighter than the ultralight through hiking stuff. It was like less than a third, about a quarter of the price, or even cheaper again, maybe a fifth of the price. Lighter. It's very comfortable. The straps are all nice and rounded. It's got all the gear you want. This is actually a hydration pack as well. So you put a hydration bladder in here, some little holes in here for the tube to come out of, and I think either side you can put your bladder tube down there or your drinking tube down there. So by accident, this is really good, you know. When you're not carrying a rifle in this, I never put a rifle in that, but I can use these straps here I've used this bag here for putting my Silky Saw Katana 650. That sits down in there. Use the straps to hold it on there. An axe, you can put an axe in here, an axe handle, and the head's up here. Tomahawks, whatever. If you've got any camping poles or anything that's a little bit long, with my tomahawks, I can take the handles off them. I can do the same thing here. The strap's adjustable, and then you can have it so it's nice and short, and the straps, you know, Velcro straps go around all the handles for my tomahawks and that. So when I go up the bush and I'm testing all of my stuff, this is the bag I take, and it's usually got all my knives, all my anything that I'm doing a review on, my axe handles, my tomahawk handles, and everything else that's long. This thing accommodates it. Fantastic. It's Ridgeline. Pretty sure it's the H2O, and it's something like, just look for this thing on there. It's a bladder bag with the rifle sling on it. Fantastic. And then underneath, actually, it's got the straps and the clips down here. So if you've got any bigger, bulkier items, like that's where I'll put my sleeping bag, and any heavy jumpers or jackets or things like that, you can put under here just to adjust the straps down as big as you want, and then it will just hang down over your ass. And that is the other thing that I wanted to mention as well about bags. Don't go too big. Have all your sleeping gear and all your stuff that you don't want wet on the inside, and then on the outside of the bag, if you've got molly or you've got other, make use of all of your other strapping and lashing points, and you can keep your bigger bulky items like maybe a tent, sleeping bag, etc., etc. Keep those on the outside of your pack, and then you don't need such a massive bag, but you're still getting everything you need in a compact sort of little setup. So I won't ramble on too much more. You can see my old military ones there, the old Vietnam Alice pack, and then this is like a 1990s sort of era Australian Army thing. They're heavy. The Alice pack is like, they're both made of like a canvasy material. That's still pre-molly, so they got the old army belt set up, where you put the steel clips behind here. You can still lash off those things, but hey, look, I guess in America they'd probably give those things away. They're still too expensive. People want good money for those still, and as far as I'm concerned, they're too heavy. And there's just better lightweight options. Like, you can't even compare the difference in weight of this to that. Yeah, that might be more durable, but this is going to do the job. And what was this? This was on special for 50 bucks, so half price again. Shop around, look for your bargains, and plan ahead of time. Just like when you're going into the bush, you have preparations, whether you're going in the bush, in a boat, going into the snow or into the mountains, or on a hunting trip, or wherever you're going. Having a little bit of foresight into the potential hazards, storms, high winds, etc., etc., that could slow you getting home. If something keeps you stuck in the wilderness or whatever, or things just generally turn bad, just make sure you have enough stuff. Even if you don't have a space blanket, just a poncho will trap in heat. It'll keep you alive for that one night. You just need to get through that one night. So yeah, anyway, that's a little bit of a overview on my thoughts on some bags. Don't go too big, don't put too expensive gear in there. It's too easily lost, damaged, or stolen. Cheers.